Hello, everybody. It is so good to see you on this Sunday, January 5th, 2025. So, are y'all going to be ready for the next few weeks to write 2024 everywhere and have to redo it? That's the only frustrating part. So, hello. It's so good to see you. I got very excited because it's snowing today. Although now it's probably virtually stopped. But I'm going to share it with you because here in North Carolina, especially in this Piedmont area, you can see it mostly on the cars in the driveway. But we're kind of protected from the mountains to our west. And so a lot of times I have found since living here that the snow tends to go up over the rain clouds go up over the mountains and don't drop again until they get closer to our capital city of Raleigh. So here we are. I think it was last year or the year before, we had absolutely no snow, not one bit all season. So I'll tell you something a little interesting, and that is being almost 70 and feeling still like a newlywed. I tend to do silly things. And I was looking out the back deck door at the snow, and I saw this perfect clear patch that the dogs had not yet stepped on, and it was just lovely. So I thought I would step outside the door. I was barefoot, and there was, like a half inch of snow. I thought I would just step outside real quick and make a heart right outside that door and write, "I love Mark" in it. Well, I stepped outside the door and one foot just started sliding. And it was this so slow slide that right out to the side, like I was going to do the splits. So at some point I realized, oh no, I'm going to fall. So it happened so slowly that I just kind of released. I went down on one knee, and I heard the thump, but it didn't really hurt, and I am fine. I just wanted to let you know, just a couple little twinges here and there. But I went down, and there was a big handprint where this hand stopped me. And so then I realized I can't get back up because it was so slippery that even my knees, being on my knees and hands, were slipping. And so I ended up going back on my rear, opening the door and scooching inside the house until I could get the door shut, then getting on all hands and knees and getting up. What was really hurt was my pride because I said, I am an old woman. I went to do a cute young girl thing and it got me. So I'm okay. I have a few twinges here and there. But luckily, since I told Mark, it's like I knew I was going to go down. There was no stopping it. So if you kind of go with it, it helps. So anyway, but I'm lucky I just kind of went down on my knees first, my hands and knees. And then it was like, now what do I do? Because the hands and knees were still slipping. So Mark Mark was not happy that I tried to do it, but he was very gentle. He was like, "You don't have to write me a heart in the snow." So I said, "I just realized I am an old woman. So I shouldn't have tried that." He said, "How would you feel telling the doctor how you got hurt?" Oh, yes, that's why the dogs avoided that area. It was pretty slippery. But now that I think back on it, it cracks me up because I'm just picturing being on my hands and knees and then on my butt going, okay, but now what? But I tell you what, it does remind me, be awfully careful. You've heard the terrible stories of older people going out, falling down in the snow, and they can't get back into the house. And oh, it could be tragic, but please be careful. Even though it looks like snow, it may be very slippery. So I'm going to see all who is here. Oh, thank you. I hope he appreciates that. But I've got to remember, I'm getting very close to 70, and I need to take that into consideration. And I'm not in the best physical shape. So, anyway, but Mark and I have started our exercise program. Although today I'm going to do it in the house. I'm not going out again until all this white stuff is gone. But it's liable to be icy for a while because it's going to be very cold this week. So, has anybody else gotten any snow? Because it's awfully exciting when you do get that snow. It's so pretty. All right, let's see who's here. Our Lisa is the very first person here. Then our Bonnie. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, the Siberian wind came back. I'm so happy to see you. Oh, it's so good to see you. And Joe is here. And let's see. Mitty's here. Yay, Mitty. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. Laura R., you sweetheart. So it is so. Oh, Charlene Lawson. Hi, Charlene. Pat is here. Yay, Pat. Yes, it must have come from the west because we got it before my daughter, who lives in Greensboro, got it. And I was able to say, it's snowing. So, how exciting. You got a little bit of snow yesterday. That's wonderful, hon. Oh, the storm went south of you. Oh, yeah. The icy part is not fun. And, I should have realized it was ice because it's sticking like to all the car windows. I should have realized that means it probably has a good amount of sleet in it. So don't go out. Thank goodness it was on a deck with a covered. We have an indoor-outdoor carpet on the deck, so it kind of cleans the dog's feet off a little bit as they're coming in. Because if I'd gone down on concrete, we might not be talking right now. I might be on the way to the hospital. So, anyway, oh, Pat, yes, Pat lived in Myrtle Beach. You don't get a lot of snow at Myrtle Beach. Oh, that's wonderful, Pat. Enjoy it, sweetheart. Yes, Lisa, I do not want to hurt myself before the retreat. That's why we're making sure we exercise. But I'm going to use the elliptical trainer today and not go outside. So Alberta's here, just raining and cold. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, please. Please. Oh, good. Yeah, just be very careful, Bonnie, because I had no idea that I was going to slip and fall. Please be careful, my Bonnie. So, and otherwise I'll have to start singing My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. I don't know why, but it just came to me. But you can get removable cleats to put on your wet boots or tennis shoes. I love that idea. Oh, that's wonderful. Bonnie says, no ocean, no more rain. Okay. All right. Well, happy New Year. I actually stayed up to watch the New Year happen. But then oh, good, Joe. Joe has those cleats. That's wonderful. But I stayed up to watch the new year come in. But I was getting kind of tired of all the drinking references and stuff. I guess that's why I am older now, because that kind of stuff doesn't do anything for me. But me and my one little kidney, we don't drink. And so, okay, what do we got to do? But oh, that's a good idea. I do have a walker with no wheels from back when I ruptured my Achilles tendon. The day I did that, the day I was first meeting Mark 20 years ago. So, but I will remember the walker, because that's good advice so that you don't take a chance on falling. But, oh, okay, good. Yeah, I had no idea about the cleats. What a great idea. So, but Mark and I have promised to go walking every day, weather permitting. And, but I'm committed because, now he's retired. And I want to travel, and I can't travel unless I get in better physical shape, because there's a lot of walking, carrying your suitcase, things like that I have to be able to do. So we are committed. Slipping on ice can cause brain injury. That is true. That's very true. And you've seen people fall and hit their heads. That is so scary. And I don't want to break a hip or something. I'm The last time I had a bone density check, because I had hypoparathyroidism, that's now fixed, but I had less bone density than I used to. I used to have really good bone density. I was very active, and being a little heavy kind of protected me. But then when my hyperparathyroid glands got enlarged, they started stripping calcium out of my body. And so it kind of, I don't have osteoporosis, but I think I'm in osteopenia, which is thinning, but not at osteoporosis. So you got to be careful. There's scary things out there, like the ground. I know for sure gravity's real. So, okay. And since I'm a bigger girl, gravity likes me better. All right. So, Wednesday, and I forgot to bring down the page. Oh, I knew I forgot something. But Wednesday, I did the Merry Mayhem New Year's Day mystery, which I've been doing for bunches and bunches of years, and love, love, love it. And right now, here it is. Isn't it great? So there it is. And I will show you more of it today. I'm looking for my little thread cutter. Oh, here it is. I love these little guys. I have one with a seam ripper on it, but that always makes me nervous. But this one, you can't hurt yourself because the blade is buried. See it in there? It's buried pretty good. So while I'm telling you about this stuff, why don't I start cutting these apart? But if any of you do chain piecing like I do, this is so gratifying. Although be careful if you do pin some of the blocks, to remove those pins before you stab yourself. But this I love. I call it a kite string, and I just love it. Well, it got okay. Here we go. But this makes you feel so absolutely productive. I mean, look at this. But I've got to tell you, this time, Miss Mary Mayhem, and you can check and see if it's still up. She might have taken it down because she adds it to her collection of patterns you can buy. But she had everything posted exactly as she said. But as the group will tell you, pardon me, I think all the thread got me. But as the group will tell you, Mark and I of course, I waited to get on till 5 minutes to 10. Well, I didn't wake up till 9:30, but then we could not get the computer to play nice. And it was as if, I guess, everybody in the neighborhood was on the internet because we couldn't get to it. And unfortunately, we have very little internet access in this neighborhood where we are. And they just laid cables for some fiber optic internet. And I can't wait for that to go into play because I want good, solid internet. There, I cut them all apart. So, anyway, we tried and tried and tried. Mark was running around like crazy. And it's funny, when he gets stressed, I feel like I can't get stressed. So I was trying to be all calm. But then when I took a lunch break and came back and it wasn't working, I think it was causing y'all some feedback and we couldn't get the sound to work. I finally went, I'm going to go now, because if I had tried to stay any longer, I was going to cry. So I'm like, okay, I'm done now. So I still ended up sewing, took a break, came back, sewed some more. And and I've sewed some on Thursday, Friday. Wow. Was it really Wednesday? Oh my goodness. But I had promised myself, I had gotten very tired over Christmas. And honestly, part of it was Mark getting ready for his retirement. It was pretty stressful when you've worked your whole life since you were 14 and then you retire. And I knew it. I knew it was going to be stressful on him because he's very work oriented. He's a hard worker. When he takes things very seriously. So I knew it was going to be hard. I'm not sure he knew how hard it was going to be. And like I told him, he was in his head a lot, So it he was just trying to put it all in order for himself. And but anyway, so after Christmas, I was worn out, stressed out, and I didn't realize until just a couple days ago, he finally relaxed. It was like, okay, okay. He kept saying it, it felt like there's something he should be doing and all of that. And it's not vacation, the first few days it just felt like vacation, but there was nothing to go back to. And I think it was when he took all of his equipment, his monitors and computers and all the equipment, when he took that back, I think that's when it really hit him. And he's been great. It's cute to watch him. And in fact, last night we're a bad influence on each other because we stayed up till after 2 a.m. and we're like, and I knew I had a lot to do to get ready for the show because I really took time off this week. But y'all are so, Mare is here. But y'all are so understanding. Oh, Svetlana is here. Oh, darling. I can't really say much, but I want you to know I'm very concerned about Ukraine, and my heart just breaks. And we're going to keep y'all close to our heart. And whatever our government may in a few weeks decide what to do, that just know that the majority of Americans want y'all to hold on to your sovereignty. So please know that we are with you in spirit. I still have my Ukrainian flag hanging up on the front porch that I made when this first happened. And it is so faded, but it will stay hanging on this house until this is resolved in the Ukraine's favor. And just know we're thinking of you. So, okay. But this year, I'm done with politics, I'm done with the news. I'm in my happy place and I'm going to stay there until things get better. So, but what can you do? What I'm trying to do right now, and I'm not doing a good job of paying attention to y'all, but I was ironing these blocks that I was going to show you. Now, remember Miss Bonnie says she's going to wait. Oh, you're welcome, darling. You are a dear heart. Oh, yay. No chemo and your mammogram came back clear. That's wonderful, Mayor. That's wonderful. And just in case some of you don't know, Jody's came back clear. Mine was great. So, no, oh, we're all showing clear. It's wonderful. So, that was my biggest gift at Christmas was a good doctor's report. So, and once I start walking, which I hope will help me lose weight, then all of it will be a good thing. And the snow is still out there, so pretty. Oh my gosh. But I'm looking at the ice buildup on the car window. It's getting worse. So I have a feeling it doesn't look like it's snowing. It's probably sleeting. And Mark said the first thing he said was, thank goodness I don't have to fret over do I go to work or not. And it's like, oh, you're right. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. So, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from that. All right. So I am very sorry that I was not a good friend during the chat. My internet service was awful. Mark tried turning off the TVs, everything. He was desperate to get me the internet service. So all I can say is I hope soon to get fiber optic internet service. So as soon as they say it's hooked up, I'm there. All right. So I have posted a new information sheet and I've posted a new information sheet and on the our Google, Groups IO site, and it has a bunch of information about embroidery. It's from a wonderful site. Let me see if I can find it. It's from a wonderful site called, oh, I hope I didn't get rid of this feed. Okay, copy. All right, hold on. Let me come back and find y'all. Live streaming there. All right, I'm going to put this feed on. A wonderful woman. I found this, and she gives the best information about anything to do with hand embroidery. The best. And we're going to start that project. We have two projects we're going to start. One is going to be a thin strip landscape. This is just to give you an idea. I haven't drawn, well, each person is going to draw out their own. I do have a fine line grid. If you want a copy, it is on our Groups IO site. But if you're not on our Groups IO site or you can't find it, just drop me an email at ourtime to quilt at twc.com. And that's if, whoops, I didn't quite get it right. Bonnie's probably back there saying, Deb, put on your reading glasses. And, but if you drop me an email, I will give you I'll send back an email copy of the fine grid lines so you can plan your own landscape. But isn't that cool how that looks? I saw that and this is a Quilting Arts magazine, and this was from the summer issue. I saw that and thought, let's go back and do one of these. So I like to show you that. So we're hoping to start. I was hoping to start it today. I had to revise my plans because I took a lot of time off, and I played and had a fun time. And then I just needed to relax. Just needed to relax. And to sleep until I couldn't sleep anymore. But anyway, that website gives you so much information on embroidery floss, needles, everything. And so I think that you really will like that. But I've also condensed it and put it on our group's IO site under files. So that y'all can always find it under hand embroidery. I put a folder in there for it. All right. So, and before I leave the subject of our Wednesday sit and chat, it was wonderful to see the people who came and chatted with us. We had some first timers like Cheryl Hogan and Dolores Fagan, our professional artist who's amazing. And I loved it. She talked about her artwork and her path in life. She didn't even start quilting until Y2K. And it's amazing what brought her to quilting. And it's shocking. I mean, that she didn't realize how talented she was. Oh my gosh, she's so very talented. But it just shows that sometimes your health will, or a life circumstance will change the direction of your life, and be open to it, because yeah, I think it has brought forward for her amazing gifts that I feel like are gifts to all of us who enjoy her artwork. And she's had at least 2 of her artworks featured in the national media. So that's wonderful. Did that Mary come in? Hi. Yeah, stay inside and just enjoy the view. One fall is enough for Deb. It's so good to see you. Oh, Catherine, Catherine, okay, Sophikitis. Welcome, sweetheart. That is amazing. So, that is so neat. All right. So now, so just to let you know, we're going to start prepping for strip landscape, and I just wanted to show you our Bonnie should do I wish she were here to do a little information thing for this whole embroidery, because I'm going to learn. I've got some more coming, but I'm going to learn how to wind the floss and put the number on it. And I've got a tiny little container that will start me on that. But I'm seeing here, it looks like you put it through one of these little notches, and then you wind it up, and then you number and I think this is now called a bobbin, because it acts as any other kind of bobbin, doesn't it? And so you wind this on here. Now, the reason you do this, the best, Bonnie can tell us more, but I think the reason you can do this is it protects your floss, because when you start using it out of a bag, and you have a lot of leftovers and you're trying to separate it into 2 or 3 strands, it can become a knotted mess. So I'm thinking that's the first reason that you wind it. And it doesn't take that long. And in fact, I ordered a little bobbin winder that was kind of designed to sit. Whoops, hold on. Ah, this is the part. It's not fun to have arthritis because it hurts. But so evidently the little winder sits like in a corner of one of these, and then you can just turn the handle to wind it. She says, "You'll do some picks?" Oh, wonderful. Fine Sharpie. Okay, so write the number. And let me see if I should have a fine Sharpie down here somewhere. The good point about the fine Sharpie, because my handwriting is big and clumsy. Okay, so this number is 3857. Maybe I'll just write it on one of these little sides. 3, 8, 5, 7. Okay. So I'm going to be working on trying to organize 3857. Try to organize this stash of flosses. And if you go to that wonderful site, so now these are made so it fits perfectly. And so every journey begins with a single step, and there's my step. So now I only have a few more to go. But I want to take good care of it. And also, if I keep it more organized, then I will be able to find it on a moment's notice and just get down to the fun. Now, but I'm going to do all of that. We are going to be working on, let me put this in a better place because I've got a lot of stuff to show you and I'll end up making a big mess if I don't. So, let me put this over here. Okay. We are going to start doing some hand embroidery. Now, I know this is a quilt channel, but we're going to do 2 things at once because I no longer do a Thursday show. And landscapes are my favorite, most requested project. So we're going to do the thin strip landscape, and at the same time, we're going to work on 3D landscape, 3D hand embroidery. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but people are now doing what we call in the quilt world stuff work hand embroidery. So it gives it dimension and shape. And I probably will be using more of the whole 6 strands because it makes it a little faster and a little more dynamic. And so I'm very excited about that. I'm working on a pattern that I will give you for free that I think you will like. And I hope to have that when I'm done with my Myrtle Beach quilt party. Next week, this coming up week, I have to pack to get ready to go to my Myrtle Beach quilt party. Then the next week, I'll be gone the whole week. And Mark's going to hold down the fort and take care of the pups and the birds and all of that. And I'll get away by myself. So, I don't want to start it right now because I am hoping to have a show next Sunday. Hopefully, it's going to be from the hotel. If you don't see one, I didn't manage to get away like I planned. But if we do a show, I'm planning right now on 5 p.m. next Sunday. That's New York time or Eastern time, 5 p.m. It's 2 hours later than normal, but I want to get a chance to drive down to Myrtle Beach, get into my room and set up. Okay, so we'll try that. I try to always do a show from the beach. So then the next week, I'll be driving home. I guarantee you, I'm going to be too tired. So there will not be a show. Let me see. So next week, it's at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Then the week after that will be the 19th. No show. No show on the 19th. I'll be too tired. But just to keep you interested, don't forget that I will be coming back with all kinds of photos of the teachers show and tell, students show and tell, and the class finale show and tell. So I'll have lots of pictures for you. Oh, okay, great. And I'm hoping I'm going to have it set up for 5 p.m. And if I can't get it and get set up by time, I'll pull it off. And it might be last minute, just check. I wish I could give you more information, but it's like 4 to 5 hours away. And then I have to take everything in to the room and get set up. So it's a little tricky. But, I'm so glad you've got a monthly meeting for that. I'm so glad. It's so nice to have things to look forward to, whether it is a quilt bee or whatever. That is really nice. Okay, now, so I've got on the instructions, and in fact, I don't, I thought I had some things, but be looking for embroidery needles. They have a larger eye. And make sure you get a good size eye, because I have a feeling on a lot of these, we're going to be using a couple strands of pearl cotton or all 6 strands of floss. Also, when it comes to fabric, I'm trying to order some linen look, but I have some in here. Okay. There is the Ada cloth that cross stitchers use. And here is some of the Ada cloth. But then you can get pieces of what look like a natural linen. And I'm thinking, you know what? I didn't even need to order anymore. I have got more here than I thought. I'm going to use this for my hand embroidery. I'll save the Ada because I'm sure at some point I'm going to try cross stitch again. And I'm not the best cross stitcher. I bet you're shocked. But Bonnie is amazing. Her black work just, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So, and I wanted to say Happy New Year to Susan. She sent me a sweet Christmas GIF. It was wonderful. It was so good to hear from her. All right. So if you want to do some prep for the 3D embroidery, go look at that site that I gave you the shortcut of, because it mentions all the different fabrics and flosses that you can use. And this will give you a chance to kind of get set up. And I look quickly for my favorite hoop. Oh, I think I know where it is. Okay. So I would say about an 8-inch hoop. I wouldn't go too large, because that just holding a large hoop can intimidate you. But 8 inches gives you a little space, because remember, when you're doing embroidery, you can't get too close to the hoop. You'd be running into it with your needle. So, okay. And you can collect whatever kind of fabric you want to work with. Most of the people recommend something that looks like a linen fabric. Most people like cotton, but maybe, and Bonnie, jump in here anywhere you want. and put your 2 cents in. Any of you who are good, I will tell Miss Lily hello for you. I do that every year and she just loves it. She's such a sweetheart. Um okay. So then we were talking about strip landscaping. Plan out what kind of landscape do you want to do. Do you want to do mountains? Do you want to do oceans or lakes? In whatever you want to do. And I keep showing this, and let me see if this is by Teresita Leo. Leao from Buenos Aires, Argentina. And it's just so beautiful. And you notice that she's bounced around that sunset all around her work. And so that is just, to me, I did one. In fact, it's on the placeholder photo. It came out so much better than I had planned because it looks like what it really isn't. And I said, I'll leave it like that. It looks like there's the moon. It's supposed to be a sunset, but the moon shows the most. And it wasn't supposed to be a moon. But I said, oh, that's what it is now. The undersea landscape, I've put it aside for Christmas. I will start it again the end of the month. I do not want to let it go because there were several people that were interested in that. So I don't want to let it go. So it will be coming back, but I probably want to get you started on the new projects and then we'll bring that in and finish it. But I haven't even touched it since for at least a month. Oh, I just saw some snow fall off the handle on the car. So we'll have to see. But okay. So now, but we will come back to that. The stenciled fabric project. I was hoping to have more of that done to show you, but today I'm just not going to get to it. Blame it on falling to my knees in the snow. That's it. That's it. I'm sticking to that. But we will be coming back to the stenciled fabric because I love that project. Love it. I can't wait to do something else. And basically what I'm talking about, if you're not aware of it, is you take fabric. I took fabric and a stencil and baking soda and acrylic paint. I mixed baking soda and acrylic paint, then took a sponge brush like this one and brushed it across the stencil onto the fabric. Then when it was dry, I ironed it, and now it's there. And so in some of them, I stenciled circles. In some of them, I stenciled the background, which is about 8 inches square. And I did them in all the colors of the rainbow because I'm still very taken with this color wash quilt. And it's kind of like another step in that process. But I've got to tell you, this color wash quilt is probably about there we go. It is about my favorite ever quilt. And in fact, I love it so much that for Christmas, I asked Santa to give me some more color wash fabric. And if you give me 1 second, let me grab that fabric. And there's half of it. And I got it from boutiques, etc. in Wytheville, Virginia. So, and I highly recommend that shop. I did it online and it was here within 3 days. It was so unbelievable. But I'm going to let me bring you a little closer here and I'll put the fabrics up. I love this because the big dahlia that you've seen that people do wonderful quilting on. Whoops, let me get it here. It has images. It has images from like the Big Dahlia quilt or some things that are done with kaleidoscope style. But look at these colors. So this is what I asked Santa for. And this is Dream Big Tiles. I like to always show you what it is. Dream Big Tiles, a Hoffman Spectrum print by Jeannie Summerall Ajero. I'll have to look again. But this is by Hoffman with an H. Dream Big Tiles. And I just think this is the most gorgeous fabric. Now let me see if I find that. The designer name is Jeannie Summerall Ajero. Very talented person who put this together. And this is a golden color, then lime. So with all of these colors, I think I'm going to be cutting that fabric into 2.5-inch squares, and I'm really going to be able to make something really pretty. And I'm just going to go online and search the Google machine, for color wash swirls, because I want to do something really exciting, because that's what I did here. But with the 2.5, I'm going to really be able to make it swirl. When I was getting that fabric out, I found 2 of the blocks. Actually, I found all of them, but this is the stencil painted fabric. Now, this is not going to be a quilt that people are going to snuggle up with. This is going to be something really pretty to hang on the wall. And I did the same thing, which is to cover a lot of the rainbow with this one. But I love this project. And it is a continuation of my fascination with color that started with Terry Rowland's amazing inspiration of a color wash quilt. So thank goodness to Terry Rowland, put it on her site, and then Kate Jackson from the Last Homely House did her version on her site, and that's how I found it. And now I'm passing it out there for y'all. And let me check real quick to see if anybody's written anything. Okay, nice. Yes, those colors get me so excited. All right, so let's see. Oh, I have a failure to admit to, that I haven't done any work, not even gathered my fabrics for Bonnie Hunter. When our Bonnie mentioned it, it sounded exciting. And then I remembered I had a whole lot to do for Christmas. So each week I carefully collected the clues. And then I went on, when she posted the last clue, I went on to check, and she had the reveal. When I looked at the reveal, I saw a bajillion pieces. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's gorgeous. But a bazillion pieces. All kinds of half square triangles and all this stuff. And I said, I kept my manners. And I said, thank you so much, but no thanks. One day on my bucket list, I want so badly to do a Bonnie Hunter quilt. But I have to tell you, that is just overwhelming. And she has done some beautiful ones, something about the Blue Ridge and something about Orca, and amazing ones that I'd love to make that. But until I get more energy, I've had to say, I appreciate it, but not this time. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm having to learn. You were right, Bonnie, about collecting things, because once you cut up all that fabric and devote all that fabric, then you feel bad, really bad about it. So it's like, whoa. But anyway, I don't know if I told y'all that I made an English paper piecing kit for my daughter's boyfriend's mom, and she's lovely, and we can't help but spread the word. And so I'm trying to turn her into a quilter. And I thought, first I'll get her started on a hand project she can sit and relax with. So I made her up an entire kit of English paper piecing, and I found a good starter free pattern on the internet. And in fact, I think I had that here somewhere. Num 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 num. Did I have it? I might. No, I might not have brought it. I don't think I did. But it was a great beginner project, and I told her I would do it too, and I need to get busy. Then I had a little fabric collection of pretty colors that I had gotten from a store that just they had a block of the month, and they had these pre-made little packages. They were selling them like for $1. But I put needles and did I put beeswax? Yes, needles, a little pair of scissors. Um, I made the paper, cardstock paper pieces, a glue stick, everything she's going to need to do this. Couple little clips to hold it, the gray thread, all of that. And I told her, don't feel like you have to do it just because I give it to you. That's a gift, but just a gift. She thought it was real sweet, and she is such a sweetie. So I still have that to work on. But the reason I brought that up is because when I went to do the Merry Mayhem, I thought, you know what? I'll grab back when Connecting Threads was young, years ago. They would have pre-cut kits, and then when they were closing out that fabric line, they would sell them at clearance for like $5 or $7 for a kit. So I would buy them, and that's what this is. Oh, which brings me to another subject. I owe y'all patterns. I started a giveaway weeks ago and then got all scrambled up. And I'm going to put this pattern in with the group that I have to give to you. So we will do this pattern after I get back, like the last Sunday of the month. We will do that drawing, and I will get those patterns out to you. Okay. While we're talking about things that maybe didn't go as well, I want to show you, I guess Monday or Tuesday, I did another dot mandala. You might say, well, that's interesting, but notice something. It is so off center. And it's one of those things where once you get the center dot off center, it kind of expands from that. So as you continue to do each stripe around, it is worse and worse and worse. So it doesn't show as bad as it really looks. Yeah, if you tilt your head. Oh, that's really nice. You're right. But I want to show you, I thought I had on my cocky, my arrogant shorts, and I thought I can center it. It'll work. Because I just wanted to sit down and paint. I didn't want to have to work, measure it out. So that's what happens. So now this is an ornament that I've prepared ahead. what I have found, I have ordered chalk pencils, wax pencils, just about everything. The thing I love best, this is a fine tip writing acrylic paint pen. It's wonderful. And when I get a little bit off, I just use my fingernail and I just dot it on. I dot my lines on. And this has been the thing I like best. So now with this one done right, then you can see how off the other one, because if you look, it's just look where the orange dots are here and look where they are on that side, right over on the edge. So now this is not lost because this is actually a pretty inexpensive hobby. Acrylic paints aren't expensive, and the little things that the dot painting tools aren't expensive. So it, and then these plastic ornaments aren't expensive. I take and pour black paint inside of them and let it dry. But what I'm going to do with this, because to me it's too off center to give it as a gift, I'm going to take and lay it, not the opening, but lay it in a bowl of warm water with Dawn dish detergent and just lay it in there and see if I can't loosen up the paint. Because I could take something and scratch it. But since this has got a, I'm just showing you, I'm taking off the center dot. Since this has a shiny plastic, because the paint's on the inside, the black paint, so the outside is shiny plastic. So you can get off that paint. Confident. That embarrassing kind of confidence that bites you. But anyway, so I can get this off and then I'll do it again. So, and if I'm not working on those ornaments, then I like the inexpensive little canvas boards that I paint black. Let them dry real good, and then you can do it. So that is an inexpensive hobby. I just thought I would tell you that. But do, if you ever do like it, try to buy a better quality acrylic paint. But, you know, like I said, I bought some um translucent gloss medium, and that's helping the paint give that look that I wanted, because my paint is cheap. All right, so now let's see. The stenciled fabric project I have not yet made. I showed you where I took pictures right over each block, took a picture on my camera, then I take and download it to my Word program and I crop it just to the edges of the block. That's why you have to get right over to photograph it, because if you're at an angle, it skews the block. You want it as square as possible. Then I'll put all of those on a Word document, print it on cardstock, cut them out, and play puzzle with them. And that's a great way to lay out your blocks and not have to use a design wall, because I don't have a good design wall. All right, now let's see. I have shown y'all before. I was going to show you what I pack in my pink tote, but I've shown you that before. So if I end up with extra time, maybe I'll do it, but probably not. All right, so I think, I want to show you this. Oh, let's go ahead and just show you other things. More little gifts I got from Christmas. I got this from Joann Fabrics for $3 and something. It is heavy and it's metal, and I am so tickled that now I got it. I wasn't sure how it was going to be made, but this is tough stuff. And then I got a wool felting pillow. Okay, because I have like a little very dense brush, but it's kind of small. So I got a wool felting pillow. I got another hand felting needle holder. I got some leather finger cots, which will help keep you from stabbing your finger. And then for Christmas, I got this foot to use on my new machine. And it's just a great way to keep track. I would like to learn how to do quilting on a domestic machine. So, all right. And then I got some large eye embroidery needles. So just wanted to show you those because I'm starting to take down decorations and put them away because I don't want to leave them out while I'm gone because I know I'm not going to want to put them away when I'm done. Then I was going to show you that I like to sew my pieces together like for this quilt. Some of like the half square triangles, I cut them at 3 inches sewed. I take and I don't draw my line on fabric because I hate doing that. I take 2 or 3 at a time. I fold them in half and crease them on the diagonal. There's my line. And then I sew them. And by making them 3 inches when you need them to finish at 2.5, you have 1/8 of an inch to trim them up. So I'll just show you real quick some of the things I had left over. And so, I don't cut out triangles and then sew them together. I cut out the bigger square. And so like right here, this is what a piece that I had left over. And then some of these I changed some of the colors. But this was a kit that I had in the closet for probably 15, 18 years. And it worked beautifully. But let's say this is my 3-inch square that I cut out, but I needed them 2.5. What I did is I took cardboard. This I had to glue together, but it made a 2.5-inch square. Okay, I made sure to cut that cardboard 2.5. Then I go sit in my chair in front of the TV with my feet up because my feet can swell if I sit at a sewing machine too long. But while I'm sitting there just relaxing with my feet up, I cut them down to 2.5 inches. So these are little things I do. People say, how do you get so much done? Well, I try to work smart, and by saying, I'm not going to, here's a place where I took off 2.5 inches. But I had to cut out so many, 120 3-inch squares, and then 48 of this, and then oh gosh, I wish I had brought the pattern down from it, but it was a lot. Oops, and I'm going to keep this together because until I finish, ignore the block 8. This was from Alaska, the quilt from last year, which got hung on my wall for Christmas. I was so happy. All right, so, but then, oh, I know what else I was going to show you. I ordered this high decibel whistle because when I'm going out of town by myself and I'm parking in a parking garage that nobody else is around, I'll just keep this with my phone around my neck. And it is, I didn't think it was very loud until I blew it with Mark around and he was like, oh my gosh, that hurt. I felt so terrible. So, but I did get that. But anyway, okay. So here are my blocks. And what she had you do is you started putting 2 pieces together, then that went into 4. Then that worked you up slowly until it's really she worked you up slowly. Now I end up with 24 of these because each step along the way for the size quilt I did, I had to do 24 of everything. And then these blocks will now go together. But I like the colors in this quilt. I made a nap size, which I consider to be a throw size. but they're going to turn. And that's where I'm mad that I didn't bring down the directions, because they turn something, they turn directions. What you take these 24 and then you put those into groups of 4. And then, so since I have 24 and you put them into groups of 4, then I'll have 6 blocks. So I'll do 2 across, 3 down. And I plan to have this done by no later than tomorrow. And then I need to start packing and cutting my fabric and packing for class. I noticed on, okay, let me bring this back up. Pardon me. I noticed today I went and got the sheet of information sheet for the class for a week and 2 days from today. She wants you to starch all the fabric. So I have that sitting right there. Oh, I want to show you one other thing I got. Whoops. Oh, well, one of them fell on the floor, but I can show you the other one. These packages, blankets come in them, sheets come in them. I love these. And let me make sure my charger wasn't plugged in. I noticed that my camera looked a little dull. The charger wasn't plugged in. But anyway, have you seen these when you've bought sheet sets or blankets? I saw these and they're pretty inexpensive. And I got this because it has a handle. I'm going to pack everything to do with my kit in this. And that way it's protected. Everything's in one place. Yes, I've always kept them too, but I haven't been buying anything new lately. So when I saw these, I grabbed them. And that is what I'm going to keep my kit on. Now over here, maybe I will work on this today. But these are my fabrics that I got to do my Myrtle Beach quilt party kit. And speaking of this, I found this too, the Ruby Lane that our dear Lisa found. I want to start that this year too. So as usual, every year, I don't look at it for all the things, like I don't harp on losing weight and exercising. I think of all the new projects that I'm going to do, and that makes me a lot happier. So that's the way I look at my New Year's resolution. What am I going to make next? But anyway, so this is what pattern we're using for our class at Myrtle Beach in just a little over a week. So I think after we do show and tell, then what I'm going to do is we'll just chat and I'll starch fabric. Because I thought, oh, I'll cut the fabric today during the show. I can't cut it until I starch it. So I'm going to quickly just let me try. If you don't mind, I'm going to try to get these few. But I've always wanted to do a brown and blue quilt. And so now, by using this for the mystery quilt, I have a brown and blue quilt. And I was going to put this together so you could see the final outcome, but I forgot to bring it down, the paperwork. So you just switch gears and keep going. Oh, I got to tell you this. Okay, so I was feeling like such a klutz when the internet wouldn't work Wednesday, because here I, said, oh, let's get together. We're going to sew all day. And I came all excited and prepared, was ready before 10 and prepared to sew until 3. And then the internet went wonky. So once I signed off when I got too frustrated, then I turned on, I was looking around the YouTube channels to see what I could listen to while I was sewing all by myself. And I found the guy who was Rob Appel, and he's now with um, what is it? Texas Stitching Heaven. Stitching Heaven, and they're from Texas. And so he and this helper, I think her name was Tiffany, they were working on a block a mystery quilt. That same day I was doing my mystery quilt. And so they got online. Everything went wrong. They were online late. They couldn't get the program to work. I said, Mark, you've got to see this. And poor Rob, he was, because they had spent months, I think 3 months preparing it, writing it. He had even taped a show for people who couldn't make the live. But I think this is going to be nice. I think it's going to be a gentle traditional quilt. So here it is, except for borders, and I will put it together and show you next time. So, but I'm sticking with it because I'm really trying to get things finished. I'm trying to change a lifetime of bad habits. And that's just my squirrel personality, because I always see a new peanut laying over there. So, okay, we'll get ready. And let me grab one thing really quick. He used to be man sewing. That's it, Mayor. But I felt my heart went out to him because they were doing a live show nationwide. And I thought, oh, and so at least it made me realize that even the glitziest, glossiest live internet can be tricky. And I felt so bad for him. I know he was exhausted from all day long trying to work through it. All right, so I think I have something. I'm going to get ready and do show and tell. And let me just look real quickly. I think somebody had sent me pictures. And okay. Let me move this plastic away from that iron. Oh, if y'all don't mind holding 1 second, Cheryl Hogan sent some great photos. So, okay, just give me a second. But y'all just make me so happy and bring such joy. I couldn't be more proud of y'all. Okay, so I got this one, and oh wow, okay. She's showing us she found the pictures of best of show, all the best quilts from Houston. This is wonderful. Thank you, Cheryl. You're a sweetheart. But she was there at Wednesdays. I mean, it was just fun. Oh, she's got one from Kestrel. Oh, look at Kestrel standing in front. She's so pretty. Okay. What a cool name, Kestrel. And I think it's like a hawk in the hawk family or something of birds. But I love that name. All right. So thank you, Cheryl. We got these. And then I think there was one more person. Oh, yes. Okay. Um, Let me get this one. Meltem sent us another picture of an art quilt she's doing. It is amazing. That gal is blossoming right in front of us. And I love it. I love when y'all share your work because there is so much joy we can get from your work and inspiration. Um, okay, so let me save this one. But I wanted to share some good news with you. Meltem is so sweet that she always, oh, uh-oh, There's somebody who requested, no, I thought I answered her back, but I'll make sure. But anyway, I don't forget the name Cindy Loback too, because that is the person that I got the inspiration from to do my stencil painted fabric, and Cheryl actually took the class. All right, so I think that was it. Gosh, I hope I didn't miss anyone's. Okay. All right. I think I got it. So, and if I miss someone's, I apologize. Okay. So, oh, y'all are so sweet. Okay. So I've got the pictures ready to show you. There was something I was going to say. I don't know. Hopefully it'll come back to me in just a moment. All right. I was telling Mark, I said, I don't realize, I forget that I'm the age I am. So I still try things that I really shouldn't do because I just, it's like when I said, well, I'm soon, 2 years I'll be 70, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess I am getting up there, aren't I? But I still, inside my heart, feel like a kid. And but and you'd think after going to my 50th high school reunion that I would realize, no, you're not a kid anymore, but somehow I still am. Okay, now here we go. Close that. All right, here we go. Let's look at show and tell. I've got some pictures of our snow for you. Whoops, come back. All right, now, well, it opened up to me, so let's look at it. Okay. I got this. It was sent by my granddaughter Kylie. She recently got married, and her husband are making their way out to California for his new um, Marine posting. So he's a Marine and real nice guy. She met him because her brother is in the Marines, so that's nice. But isn't that just amazing? So her world has gotten very big. This is my daughter Becky. We were making the gingerbread houses. There I am with my gingerbread house. And dear Mary, who I gave the paper piecing kit. And this is a picture of me back in, oh my gosh, maybe 1988 or 1990. So yeah, I guess I have aged. So, but my daughter found that and wanted to show me. This is my son Evan with his gingerbread. Then here are all of us at the table making gingerbread with my daughter Katie. So all Katie and Becky, my two daughters. And this was before Christmas. And here's another picture that Kylie sent us. Is that just phenomenal or what? I can't wait to travel and see things like that. And there's Andy with his gingerbread. And this is Charlie with her their gingerbread. And then here's Kylie, the one that recently got married, who sent the pictures from the mountains. And there's my daughter Katie, who is the stepmom of Kylie. And she's got her gingerbread. And this is a picture of Mark and I from the first time we met back in July of 2004. So this was Mark and I back in the day. I just thought y'all get a kick out of seeing that. So, okay. And y'all know I made the cheetah and the elephant for my grandsons. There's Mark holding them. The ornaments I made. And a box of stuff for Katie. Here, the grandsons, we're making the air dry clay. That's Donnie. This one's Russell. And Donnie's saying cowabunga. I don't know what it had to do with the clay, but that's what he was saying. They're so cute. And oh, he's still doing cowabunga. And it was great. He stayed overnight with us. And we were so tickled because he doesn't normally do that kind of thing. I got them the domino train thing, and we had fun with that. And now here's the snow. And it was so funny. I had Mark take pictures, and every time he would come back, I'd say, "Oh, now there's more snow. We need a new picture." Oh, I showed you this last week. It was a visitor who came down the chimney of a family in Northern Virginia. And I just thought that was so cute. And then here is the video of the grandsons and I. Oops, hold still. And with their animals. And it's like, you can lay down on them. And our little dogs just love those boys. So there they are. Okay. And I think that was it. Oh, no, got one more. Gotta show you this. Although I don't think it shows that much snow. Oh, yeah, it does. You can see it coming down pretty good. And that I will never forget this. What a way to start a new year. That is lovely. And right now we still have it on the ground, but you know what? Hard surfaces are melting, so it will be gone. Okay. Yeah, I should have realized it was icy. All right, so don't go out to write sweet nothings in the snow. That's not a good idea. All right, now let me go back to show and tell. Come on. I know you can work. Up there it is. All right. Now, Alberta was here today. So let's one more time. I haven't deleted it yet. Let's look at her wonderful Alaska quilt to commemorate her and her sister going on a cruise to Alaska for her 80th birthday. Isn't that wonderful? I just love that. Way to go. Way to go, Alberta. I love that. Okay, now let's see. Who is next? Da-dum. Let's see. So send me those new pictures when you can. Oh, and in honor of Dolores being at our sit and chat, well, let's take one more look at her wonderful mushroom art. And she is really an artist, an amazing artist. Look at that. That is just so beautiful. And Dolores, we hope you'll come back to another Jitsi. I'll try very hard to get my internet upgraded before then. But I love that. All right. Now let's see who's next. That was Dolores. And then let's see. I'm looking for new ones, Miss Lisa, just to show you. Miss Lisa is working on this beautiful coloration. And mine is not quite accurate, but mine's going to be this. So you're going to get to see a light and a dark version when we come back from the class. I'm very excited. All right. So now let's see what else. Miss Mary, she has been busy and she collected some beautiful leaf collage. I just love what she picked out to put in that. That is just beautiful. Look at these little beautiful little acorns. So I love the how her brain uses amazing color. I think it is terrific. We each have our own fingerprint when it comes to color and style, and I just love it. So here is her block 12 English paper piecing. So I think she's putting her paper pieces, the blocks together. I need to get busy and finish mine because I do want to finish it. But okay, so now let me see. Malcolm. Okay, and I totally forgot to tell you this news. Remember this quilt that she worked on? She put it in Etsy shop and she sold it. Isn't that wonderful? I just love it. I am so proud of her for selling that, getting it sold. So that's wonderful. Wonderful. Congratulations. And I was trying to think if there was something else she had sent me. But I love this bread that they made. That is beautiful. And they sit on the floor dining table on these beautiful indigo mats. And look at that beautiful meal. But this is her. I love her style. It's very joyful. And these are placemats, table mats she made. Now let me see. This is her new artwork. I think this is exquisite. Let me put the light on to see if you can see it better. Isn't this beautiful? This is our Meltem. Look at her. I just, I'm just so impressed with her. That is absolutely beautiful. So, I think she's going to be about ready to put her work in a show because that is glorious. Just beautiful. All right. So, congratulations, Melton. We are so proud of you. And I'm thinking, I think that was it for the new one. But isn't that amazing? I couldn't be more proud of her. All right. And don't forget that her Etsy channel is Swan Quilt Art. Swan Quilt Art. And that's our Meltem. And she's from Turkey. Beautiful ancient land. Okay, I saw Mitty here today. So in case she's still here, let's show one of her gorgeous art postcards. Isn't that beautiful? And this is in honor of our dear Mitty being here. Way to go. All right, let's go back and let's see. I'm not, oh, Miss Polly's, yes. And I think that's, oh no, Cheryl Hogan. Don't let me forget Cheryl Hogan. Okay. Oh, and another person we had to join us for the chat was Dawn. And our Miss Joso introduced us to Dawn, who has her own channel. I think Dawn by the Lake or something like that. In fact, if Miss Jo can write it in there. What a nice lady. We enjoyed having her company. So I love that. She just sent me a little email and said, I'd like to join your chat. And I sent her back an invitation, the link. But look at this. Our Polly made this for her son. And I think it's beautiful. What a great job. She has her loom and she has learned how to use it. Isn't that just gorgeous? Way to go, Miss Polly. We're so proud of you. Very talented. And she's only been weaving for just over a year, I think. She's so talented. Okay. And so there is Cheryl. Yes. Okay. So here is an award-winning quilt from the Houston Quilt Show. That is beautiful. That looks like an eye up in that cloud. Mm. Isn't that beautiful? Now, this is the style quilting that our Miss Jody is so good at. I love. Let me see. Hold on. Best of show. This quilt, and I wish I could get it big enough. Let me try. It won best of show. So when they say good things come in small packages, I think so. Okay, there it is. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I imagine there was an amazing amount of work done in that quilt. Just beautiful. Okay. Now, oh, look at this. This must be one of Cheryl's projects. Look at that rooster. How cute is that? I love quilts that make you happy, make you smile. And here is Cheryl and some of her friends at the quilt show. That's wonderful. Ah, one day I'll go to Houston. One day. Oh, look at this exhibit. This is beautiful. All hey, Bonnie, this red, white, and blue. Beautiful. And here is from her class with, oh gosh, now I have forgotten the name. Cindy. Oh, I just forgot the name. But just a few minutes ago, I mentioned that's where I got my inspiration for my stencil painting. And with hers, it's a resist method. So you paint the fabric with cellulose or something. And that's where Cheryl took the class with her and learned how to do the resist method. So that is just beautiful. Oh, that's right. This is Kestrel Michaud. And look at this. And she got Master for Contemporary Artistry. Look at that. Just beautiful. And there's Kestrel right there. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. Okay. Lots of talented people in this world, and we are so lucky. Cheryl, thank you for showing us, sharing that with us. Okay. All right. So, anybody have anything you feel like talking about? Any questions you want to ask? And I know there are some talented people here. Gosh. So, yes. So anyway, I did look up, and the teacher for this class, oh, I don't know if Lisa's ever had her as a teacher, but she's fun and wonderful. I'm so looking forward to it. So she said for me to starch the fabric. So guess what? I'm starching the fabric. And I use a good old inexpensive, get it from Walmart or wherever, grocery store, and starch your fabric. And anybody who has any questions, Donnie and Russell are so cute. Cowabunga, yeah, isn't that cute? Evidently, they like, now that came from, I should know this, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, yeah, I had a son too, and he would cowabunga everywhere. This fabric is exquisite. This fabric came from Missouri Star, and oh my goodness, it's lovely. and from Missouri Star Quilts, and it's Bella Solids. So just beautiful, just beautiful. Bella Solids, and this is um called Golden Wheat. Yep, Golden Wheat. This is the Golden Wheat color. Let me get you up here so you can look down a little bit at it. And I'm just going to sit here and starch fabric. So, if you have to go, you don't worry a bit. We just had a little time left over, and I thought, hey, but I'd either be starching my fabrics or sewing together my Merry Mayhem mystery. And so I didn't bring down the mystery. I was just noticing where I didn't put starch and try to give it a moment to settle in, because if you try to iron it too fast, it will then become white and flaky. So I'm just giving it a moment. And the one thing I don't like about this Panasonic, I dearly love that it has no cord, because I don't know about y'all, but when I used my corded iron, I got this last year for Christmas. When I used my corded iron, the cord was always wrinkling it up. So I would iron it smooth, and then the cord would wrinkle it up again. Okay. It's getting dark outside now, so I think the snow will last till tomorrow, and that would be so nice. But I won't be going outside, don't worry. Oh, goodness gracious. This is very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. So, Miss Joe, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings when I left the other day, because I realized that I couldn't, somehow, I couldn't get the volume back, or my microphone. I don't know. Everything was just acting up. And I finally got too frustrated, because I knew that if I kept trying, Mark would keep trying. I didn't want him to keep becoming frustrated. And so sometimes we have a good idea, but the next time I do a sew in, I will either do it from my sunroom, or I'll come down here and turn the heater on. I'll be fine. I didn't want to come down in the cold, and I wanted to use my new sewing machine. Gosh, I love that machine. I bought a Juki 4000 used from a woman named Carol, I believe. And oh my gosh, I love that machine so much. I can't tell you. And so the people who were on the chat got to see it and see all the wonderful vinyl stickers I put on it with floral designs. And when I sit down at that, it just makes me happy. So I was teasing to see if Mark was listening to me yesterday, and said, I'm worried about what kind of sewing machine I need to buy. And he looked at me and I said, just teasing. I said, that machine makes me happy right down to my tippy toes. So, and I'm glad now he's retired. I don't have to worry about having a machine that's going to go the distance with me. And it is just a joy. And getting it for less than half price is pretty awesome, because honestly, if she wasn't selling it for the price she sold it, I wouldn't have that wonderful machine. So I'm very, very happy. All right, so here is this starched. Oh, thanks. I was trying to hold it together and becoming a little more frustrated. But so what's anybody else doing for fun? Anybody have black-eyed peas? Ask Mark to put a clamp on your ironing table with a cord holder that keeps the iron cord off the table. I do remember those. I used a great big nail on the wall, but it didn't work as good. So, oh, look at this beautiful. Sometimes we forget how beautiful white fabric can be, but this is just beautiful. Okay, put plenty of starch on it. It has such a soft hand that I'm glad. And this is another Bella Solids. And this color is eggshell. Actually, that's a great description of this color. Absolutely beautiful. You're changing. Oh, that's a wonderful. And you know, I love the loft idea. I've often seen houses and thought that loft would be such a great idea because you can still feel like you're near the rest of the family in a way, but you've got your own space. And people don't usually go running up to the loft to see your sewing mess, so you don't even have to clean up when you're done. That's a grand idea. Okay. So now I'm going to put it this way. What I'm going to do is leave it in half. I'll starch this side. Then when I'm done with this whole side, then I'll flip it over and do the other side. But I am a big fan of starching. I have been for a while because when you starch fabric, it gives it more body. It makes it stiffer, and that ends up making it easier to cut out and more accurate to piece. Now, another thing I forgot to tell you, but I'm not really following her every direction, but she said that when you iron and starch your fabric, go with the grain, or actually, she said go selvage, back and forth from the selvage. But what she just wants to make sure is that we don't iron across diagonally. If you starch your fabric diagonally, it can stretch it because that is the what is it called? Now I just forgot, but the fabric stretches the most. It doesn't stretch really any this way. It stretches only a little this way. But if you do it diagonally, you get lots of bias. Bias is what that edge is. Oh, so Laura's, it's now in storage. So it's a big project. Wow, Laura. Wow. But you know what? You are going to be so happy with it. I told Mark I'm going to continue on my cleaning, throwing out, repurposing, all of that project with both my studio down here and my frame room upstairs because I really want to have it organized so that because what I'm finding is I still get excited and want to do projects, but my energy level isn't what it used to be. And if I have to search for it, it's too easy just to say, oh, maybe tomorrow. So if I have everything in its place, then the moment I want to create, I just do it. It's good to know. I just was noticing, for the most part, I iron with the warp or the weft as it is. And you can go this way if you want, but just don't go diagonally across the fabric unless you have to, unless that's your only option. All right, so now this piece is done. But Laura, let us know how you do, sweetheart, with it, because we will cheer you on. That is just wonderful. Okay. I'm folding these gently back to a size, and just to kind of keep me moving along, I'm ironing things from the smallest yardage to the largest, just because I find sometimes when I have to start any new project, make it easy on myself. And I'm going to keep these packages, or at least I'm going to cut out the names of the fabric so that if I need more, although I guess I can look back up my receipt. This is called mineral yardage. So this is mineral. But it's nice to have y'all here while I'm ironing. Okay. All right. And definitely keep shaking your starch can as you go. And I'll give it just a touch to sink in. You know, this only takes a few minutes, but it will make the entire quilting project so much easier. I'm glad I picked out this mineral color because it's a prettier blue than navy. Navy, to me, I just see the black in it, but this, oh, it's just gorgeous. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it around. Okay, here we go. But I hope you are all well, and those you love are well, and you're happy to start a new year of creativity. I'm going to keep my time and my inspiration on creating more and more art. And then I hope to have a very productive year. Because at some point, I know Mark's going to want us to go ahead and move to the coast or to a lake. And then I'll be very busy. So I'm going to enjoy every minute. You love that blue too? Yes. Oh, yes. In fact, you know, I was raised not far from Williamsburg, Virginia. So all my color choices were influenced by Williamsburg. Although, you know what's funny, Mary, is that at first we got the colors wrong because the houses and rooms that survived had gotten smoky from the chimneys and from the fireplaces or faded. And so then when the color scientists got in there, they found that some of our colonial blues were really more of a turquoise, but they had just, been dulled over time. So I said, isn't that funny? If we were able to time travel back to Williamsburg, what would their colors have really looked like? So, and I guess it makes sense. If you get the money for paint, then you're going to make it count. So that is so cute. But yeah, those are the colors I love. And I've always had a dark red front door because that was what was considered a sign of welcome in Williamsburg. Now I've kind of forgotten which. I think I need to do this one. But, and after I iron them, then I'll be taking these upstairs and I'll work on them and cutting out the fabric in the sunroom. But, it smells good. There's something very comforting. It's on your bucket list to see New England. Oh, yes. Absolutely. I took Mark to Williamsburg 2 years ago. We had the best trip. It was just lovely. And I'm ready to do some traveling. So I'm hoping that we will get a chance to do that. But now looks good. But I can already, the moment I put the starch on, you can feel the body of the fabric increase. Okay, let's see. This color is Bella Solid Storm. Oh, that's a good name for this too. Storm. I just wanted the grade down, a little bit more somber colors. And you just never know. Last year, I brought a bunch of Jenny Byers and fabrics and teal and all that and did the Alaska quilt. You just never know. I have to tell Mark that I have to take down the Alaska quilt so I can take it back to Myrtle Beach and show him since I finished it. Ooh, I want to get my Exploding Heart quilt and take that one too. Oh, this is peaceful. This is peaceful. Okay. Don't have that much left to do. Somebody the other day said, I watch you while I'm sewing. And I thought that made me very happy because that's what I like to do is especially I just love talking and hearing what's going on with other people and it's just lovely. Oh, saw a good movie, Belfast. And Judy Dench. It's actually an autobiography of Kenneth Branagh's being raised as a child, his first 9 years in Belfast, Ireland, during all of the terrible religious um, fighting and all of that. And his family finally found they just had to move them to England. And it was, I think, in so many ways, it was a beautiful love letter to Ireland. So I tell you what, fighting is a terrible thing. So Miss Mary, how is your life going, sweetheart? Okay, this fabric is gorgeous. Just remember Bella Solids, and the reason I got it from Missouri Star Quilting is number one because I love them, but they had the biggest inventory of solid fabrics. It was amazing. So tired of all the warring. I know. I am with you, Laura. It's like, you know what? We only have a certain number of years on this planet, and we shouldn't spend it polluting the planet and killing people. I mean, what good does that do? Especially because when we work together, Mark and I have always thought it would be nice to take one of the narrow boats down a canal in England. Well, this past no. New Year's Day or the day after, one of the canals collapsed. It's going good, a lot calmer. Yeah, there's something about holidays that just overwhelms me. So I think if Mark liked them better, it would be easier. And of course, wasn't retiring, but that only happens once. So thank goodness. But if y'all know of any good shows to watch, I would love to know them because we're always looking for interesting things. Now, I don't know if I already did this or not, but I'm going to do it now. Okay. I don't want to, I got to pay a little bit better of attention to what side I'm ironing. Oh gosh, it was so funny this morning. You're getting your mojo back. Good, honey. Good. Sometimes I just have to not push myself and just let it try to come back. I tell you, I'm so looking forward to going to Myrtle Beach that I don't know what to do. I am so excited. I really do. This is going to recharge my batteries. I go to my retreats and I love those, but for whatever reason, this Myrtle Beach is becoming my just favorite of all time thing to do. And maybe it's because I go up there early and have some time just to myself. Maybe it's because it comes right after Christmas. And this one is Bella Solid's Tea Rose. Oh, what a lovely name for this color. Tea Rose. And I'm being very careful not to cut the fabric because that would kind of ruin things, wouldn't it? But I'm going to save these names, cut them out of the packaging so that if anybody asks and I need to know, I'll have it. Okay. This is beautiful. It is really, really pretty. And these are slightly different colors for me. And here, well, that was the original. Where's my colorway? What did I do with my colorway? Well, I've placed it somewhere now and forgotten. But I think I'm really going to like just a little something different. That's why generally I don't like kits because I like to go my own direction. I think I only have one more fabric to iron. It's a good thing because my starch is running out. Although, honestly, I probably have 4 or 5 more cans in this cabinet below me. I don't like to run out of stuff. When are you getting there? I am going to try to aim to get there Sunday. And when I ended up at first, I wasn't getting the discount price, so I was going to have to go Tuesday. But when I got a really nice person on the phone and found out that he was able to get me the disc. First, they told me I could only get the price that showed up when I signed in. And I thought, okay, I'll have to cut back on when I go. But then when he gave me the discount price, and Mark said, go for it. End up staying, get as long as you want to stay. So it has been an angst filled fall. So I am so looking forward. You know what I was thinking, Miss Lisa, is I could take you out to dinner when you get there because you've just been so helpful to me with all of this. Wouldn't it be nice if the whole group of us could just snap our fingers, get together, and go out and eat dinner? Just relax and enjoy ourselves. I used to like to go shopping for fabric from the local quilt stores. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. Oh, Lisa, how is your house going? How are the repairs? Gosh, I complain and then I remember, oh no, you're having to go through all of that. Yeah, Miss Lisa's a busy lady. I'm hoping, right? Mark said, yeah, there's no way he could go with me there um this year because of the three dogs, but I'm hoping at some point he'll be able to travel with me. We love having the dogs in our life, but it definitely kind of it affects how much we can travel. So I'm just ironing. Anybody, I think a couple people just dropped in. I am ironing my fabric. I've got to cut this. This is going to be the sparrows pattern, which I can't wait to make. Somehow, this sweet little pattern just caught my eye, and I can't wait to make it. So I'm ironing my fabric, and then I'm going to start cutting it out tomorrow and packing for the Myrtle Beach quilt party. And if anybody is interested, look it up online. And even if you can't go this year, we'd love to have you attend next year if you live anywhere. We have people fly in from the Northeast and just about everywhere, but it's a wonderful experience. And we stay in a lovely hotel, and the classes are right there on site because it's a convention center. And it's just it's really become my favorite trip. The roof and fence are all done. Thank goodness. Oh, honey. Oh, good luck about that tree debris. I mean, tree people, if you've never lost a tree, you just don't realize how much wood is left behind with a tree. It is unbelievable. Oh, Lisa, you have really been a champ to get through all of this. You have really been a champ. So, if y'all don't know, Lisa had her house, a tree fall on her house during Helene back in September. It has been a very long process for her. And I don't know how she needs this trip more than anybody. Mm-mm-mm. Oh. Oh, wow. Celebrity Cruise Line has, oh my goodness. I don't know if I'm ever going to be brave enough to take a cruise. I don't know. I told Mark, everybody says you got to go on an Alaskan cruise. And I might be more willing to do that. The thought of being offshore is a little worrisome for me. This one is called Nantucket. And I thought it was going to have a little more green look to it, but it's still going to be pretty. And this is a Bella Solids Nantucket, 3.5 yards. So this is definitely my last fabric and the biggest. Yeah, I'm thinking I might do an Alaska cruise, but Y'all are brave. I have never, like, I have really, really bad, what is it called? Where I hate enclosed spaces. I have that really bad. And the thought of being in a ship and it rolling over, and Mark said, "You never hear about cruise ships rolling over, hon." And I was like, "Well, but it would probably do it when I'm there." But I think I will at least, go on an Alaskan cruise. But I don't like close, tight spaces. I'm a real ninny when it comes to that. Oh, wow. Claustrophobia. Thank you. That's exactly it. And I mean, I have claustrophobia to the point where if I were sitting in traffic and traffic got stopped and they said, "You're going to be stuck where you are for 12 hours, I would lose it. My claustrophobia is really bad. When I was first tested for the kidney cancer and they had to do a MRI, oh my God, it was everything I could do. When they put that machine over my head, it was everything I could do to get through that testing. Okay. I forget how big 3.5 yards is. It's a lot of fabric. Okay. So when I finish putting together this mystery quilt, I'll put a picture of it on our group's IO, and that way, because I am going to keep working on it. I want to get it done before I have to start cutting this fabric out. But Lisa, be thinking about it, hon, if I can take you out to dinner. And you might be too tired the first night, but maybe Wednesday night. I don't know. You just think about it. Oh, yeah, a river cruise I could do. The only problem is I loved when I would watch and they would advertise the river cruise. I thought, wow. Then I went to the site and found out those puppies are like $6,000 per person. And I was like, well, that kind of ruins that. Oh, we'll see. I've always, I haven't done a lot of traveling, but the traveling I have done, I find, a cheap place to stay, not too cheap, but bed and breakfast, or although Mark and I've said, when we go like to England or Norway, it'd be nice to rent a house or an apartment, have a home base kind of in the middle of whatever country, and then to do day trips out. So that's what we're thinking of. Place where I can cook my own food and light dinners and all of that. Because it just can be so expensive. This is very peaceful. I tell you, my mother taught me how to quilt iron very young. And I remember ironing my father's shirts. I got so good at it. And nobody wears dress shirts anymore. And when they do, they don't iron them. But it's kind of a lost art. But man, I could iron a shirt within an inch of perfection. And I can iron right handed or left handed just as good because when she taught me, I had to do it her way. Okay, 3.5 beautiful yards of fabric. Goodness. Oh no, it went back behind my sewing table and brought up all the dust bunnies back there. Oh my goodness. Well, put that on the list. Pull out ironing dresser and iron and vacuum behind it. There we go. Ugh. Now, how does dust get behind a dresser? I don't know, but evidently it does. And that's the funniest thing too. You're right, Mary. But studio people don't realize how when you get a designated sewing room, boy, oh boy, does it get dusty because of all the cotton sloughing off the fabric. So, okay, I'm down to my last yard in a little bit, but it has been so great just sitting here chatting with you. Dinner would be great. Good, hon. I think that'll be fun. So I'll have to look around, see what's around there. That would be wonderful. Yeah, with all you've been going through, Miss Lisa, it'd be nice to spoil you just a little bit. If our Mary wasn't all the way in Arkansas, I would say we'll grab her on the way out. But those canal boats in England that I think are so charming, well, you find out the canals are pretty filthy and you have to be careful because sometimes people lose things in the canal. Well, they don't want to get down in the canal to search for it. So they get these big magnets and drop them into the base of the canal to try to find if it's metal. They said, but you have to be careful because you can bring up, they were hit with the war and bombs, and you just don't know what's lying beneath those canals. And I thought, maybe, Mark, maybe we're a little old to be doing this. But once I read that, while I was actually watching a show on YouTube with a canal boater young man, and he was telling us all this when we were watching it. And I'm thinking, maybe that's not something. And, you just don't realize, you just think of drifting down the canal, but all the locks that you have to go through and you have to open and close them yourself, which is very physical work. Well, I said, well, maybe that's not quite the romantic thing that it we first thought it was. because I can drive a car and I don't have to stop and crank open a bridge or oh. Okay. Okay. Last little bit. So I hope next Sunday, just gonna finish off this can of starch. I can tell that's pretty close. When it gets near the end, it starts coming out in spits and spurts. But that's why I like to buy the cheap canned starch from Walmart or something, because they're only about $2 a can. So I can do that. But if anybody wants to come help me take down my Christmas tree, just come on by and I'll feed you dinner. I really had a mess of a time putting the lights on this year, so it's not going to be easy getting them off. Yeah, this can's about done. Well, I hope y'all have a good week that's coming up. I'm going to be getting the house undecorated, getting all the packing for the trip done, making sure I've got clean clothes and all that good stuff. And making sure I have all the fabric cut out and have all my sewing things packed up. Since this one's so long, what I'm going to do is fold it accordion style. This is what I like to do with my long fabrics if I've got to get ready and cut them out, because that way I can just pull them over the top of the table the length I need. I don't have to unfold the whole thing. I think this will be great. So I accordion fold it, and then I'll flip it over this way. But accordion folding is a nice way to cut fabric without having your fabric drag all over the floor. So here we go. All of this got done. I'm so tickled. All right, you wonderful people. Oh, that's right. I've got to remember to give tips because I forget we have some people who are still new to quilting. People like Miss Joe who don't seem at all like they're new. They're so accomplished. And so I want to make sure that I keep giving tips. So I hope you all stay nice and warm. And if you have a little bit of snow, enjoy it for me, because I have a feeling by lunchtime tomorrow, my little bit's going to be gone. And I won't go outside again because I don't want to fall again. Actually, it wasn't a fall as much as it was a slow slide to the ground. I guess we can be happy for small things. But thank you for joining. I'm going to cut everything the pattern says to cut, because every year when I go to this class, I always think I want to get a good amount done to hold up and show during the class time show and tell. And I never get that much to show. So this year I'm going to be working on that very judiciously. And because I want to, but what the problem actually is we have some people that they work way ahead of time on these quilts. And they want to be able to show how much they did on their quilts. And it frustrates me because then the teacher has to do twice the explaining because they've already started theirs at home. And so it gets on my nerves, and I'm not willing to cheat like they are. I'm getting on my high horse now, just so you'll know. But I don't want to cheat and do it ahead, but at the same time, anything that she allows us to do ahead of time, I'm going to make sure to do. So I'll cut it all out, and I think that'll work. Well, y'all have been wonderful, especially y'all that hang in till the very last minute. You are very devoted, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I hope you have a great week this week. And I hope that Mark and I continue to enjoy each other's company all day long. I'm just teasing. I'm looking forward to him being retired, but we have to make sure we still have time in our own corner. But I know it's going to be wonderful. Take good care of yourself. I will see you next Sunday in the evening. And when I get to the hotel, as long as everything gets online. If not, I will pull the placeholder off, and that's how you'll know, oops, she's not doing it. But anyway, take good care of yourself, please. And do something good just for you. And start something new or do something a little frivolous, okay? Thank you, sweetie. And I will see. Don't worry. I'm going to take tons of pictures for you, some little videos just to show you what the classrooms seem like. Because some of you haven't gone to these kind of things, and I want you to know what fun they are. So I will see you next Sunday at the hotel, and then the next Sunday I'll be off, but I'll be back that next week with lots and lots of wonderful photos. Okay? Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye, everybody. Y'all are the best. And Lisa, get some sleep, okay? Because I know you've been burning the candle at both ends. Mary, you're such a doll, baby. Thank you, Miss Joe, for moderating. I don't think I saw Marcia this time. Take good care. Bye bye, everyone. You're the best. You really are. Okay, end of stream.